God morning. My name is Kathleen Benjamin, and I'm a licensed practitioner with Centers for Spiritual Living. Here at the Camarillo Center for Spiritual Living, we are actively co-creating a world that evolves through the power of service, prayer, and play, a world that works for everyone. We celebrate all paths that lead to the recognition of the divine. We honor shamanism as a path of the inward journey and soul travel. We honor Hinduism as a path recognizing the divine in each person. We honor Judaism as a path of law. We honor Taoism as a path recognizing the perfect order and balance of the universe. We honor Buddhism as a path of compassion and peace. We honor Christianity as a path of love and forgiveness. We honor Islam as a path of constant prayer. We honor Baha'i as a path recognizing the oneness in all religions. We honor New Thought as a path of healing and the power of the mind. And most of all, we honor you and the path that brought you here today. Richest blessings.
Welcome. Welcome to the Camarillo Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Reverend Kristen Kephart, and I'm the spiritual director here. We are currently in June 2021 moving to a hybrid system. We have been virtual for over a year now, but this June we will be continuing to offer our services online, but also on the fourth Sunday of the month you can catch us in the park. I'll give you more information on that shortly. But if you've been with us for 45 years or today is your first time, please check out our website as it has the most current up-to-date information. While you're on the front page of the website, there is a place that if you are interested in signing up for our newsletter, you do it right there. Put in your email address, and either on Thursdays or Fridays each week, you'll get a newsletter which also contains the most up-to-date information. Some announcements. I already mentioned the 4 Sundays in the park. We are really excited about this. We are starting off, the story, the turtle and the hare. We're moving at a turtle's pace. So on the 4th Sunday, you can catch us in Nancy Bush Park. Bring your chair. Feel free to bring your animals on leashes if you would like. We will have water for them to enjoy. We will be gathering if you are concerned about social distancing or you want to hug everybody. We have a system that will be in place so visually we can all see what the person that we want to engage with is comfortable with. If you are concerned, please come anyway, try our system. And I would love to see you in person. I can't wait. I am so excited. Next, if you are wondering how to give to the Camarillo Center for Spiritual Living, you can do it in multiple ways. We've tried to come up with every single possible way so you can find the one that's best fits you. First, you can send your checks to our P.O. Box 2360, Camarillo, California 93011. You can try out our text to give program. You text in a number and it asks you how much you would like to give to the Camarillo Center for Spiritual Living. You put that amount in. There is setup stuff to do first time around, but you can do it within 3 to 5 minutes and then it's easy peasy. All you do is put it in an amount and hit send. If you like PayPal, that is another option. All of those links and information are in the chat below. And lastly, if you would like to sign up for our electronic tithing, please contact our office. We will send you out forms. We will answer any questions that you have, and it'd be great to hear from you. So here at the Camarillo Center for Spiritual Living, I want you to know that we're a radically inclusive community, which means everyone is welcome. Everyone. I also want you to know that you are honored and that you are loved and that you are seen. And I can't wait to see you on June 27th. Now it's time for a congregational song. So please stand up, sing, and dance like no one's watching. And with Jennifer Ruth Russell and Michael Gale. Take it away.
Good morning, everyone. We are so delighted to be with you today. Let's start by opening up our hearts in sweet surrender. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of God. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of God. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of God. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of God. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of God. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of God. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. Oh, just take a moment with me and put your hand on your heart. Breathe into your heart. Breathe into that love that is the center of your being. That is the beginning of all life. Always the answer. Yes, love is always the answer. Oh, and let's open up our hearts to each other. Let's hold our hands up to each other. I am so grateful that you are here, for you show me how to love. And may we unlock our hearts and be radical lovers this month. Namaste.
And I am so honored to be your practitioner today. Welcome to the sacred time in this sacred place. Thank you for joining us. The theme of the month is The Soul's Call. The talk title is your commitment greater than your resistance? Powerful. Is your commitment greater than your resistance? And our affirmation for today is, I am committed to living my best life now. I am committed to living my best life now. Again, I am committed to living my best life now. So join me as we take a moment to turn within to prepare ourselves for this amazing service. How grateful and thankful I am to be the practitioner for this service, to be the voice of this prayer, to be available to receive the blessings that are at hand. I am so grateful for the Camarillo Center for Spiritual Living and for this opportunity to recognize that I am sourced by the power and the presence of God. I know that I am one with power, prosperity, joy, love, all the attributes of God. All the qualities of God is what I am because I am one with that power and that presence. And I just bask and allow myself to become grounded in the absolute truth of my true nature, that I am one with the one. I am one with love. I am one with joy. And the only thing that is happening is the unfolding of more of that. I am unfolding as the very presence of God, as God creates from God's self. Knowing that I am one with this presence, I know that this is true for you right where you are, whenever you are hearing this, that you have the opportunity to realign and become grounded with the divine as the divine, because the divine presence is what you are. It's what we are. And so I just bask. I continue to bask in the joy that I am, the love that I am, the peace that I am, knowing that all of this is at hand. It is my divine inheritance. It is the vibrational frequency in which I live and move and have my being. I am made in the image, likeness, and out of the same stuff that God is. And so knowing that this is the absolute truth of my being, of our being, I lean into this divine, loving field of awareness, knowing the absolute truth for and about my life. And so I send out a mighty blessing for Reverend Kristen, our director of the Camarillo Center for Spiritual Living, as she comes forth today to deliver this beautiful message. I mean, is your commitment greater than your resistance? All that we need to be ourselves fully is at hand. Are we willing to allow ourselves to receive and be our true nature? Are we willing to allow ourselves to be divine, to be joy, to be love, to be excellence? I say yes. Yes, we are. And so I bless Reverend Kristen as she comes forward with the message. I bless Jennifer Russell and Michael Gale as they come forth with the beautiful prayer message that is in their music, because we know that something wonderful is happening here as we become more awake and aware of the true nature of who we are. We step into our divinity. I am grateful to know this absolute truth today and forever. For this and so much more, I am so eternally grateful. And if you are in vibrational agreement with me, join me in saying, and so it is. Amen, amen, ashe. Richest blessings.
Grounded in the power
New segment. We have a new segment starting, and it's called Sharing Good News. This sharing good news today is about one man who was thinking on his feet, literally thinking on his feet. So in June, it's the month for graduations, and a high school graduation, there is a young man, and his name is Devarius Peters, showed up, and he was stopped from going into the ceremony because he did not have the correct shoes on. Now, we all know there are rules, life is full of rules, and if you start saying in your mind and being like a judgy judgerson of, well, he didn't follow the rules, or it shouldn't be that hard, or why isn't his parents paying attention, he shouldn't be allowed in, all of that nonsense. Because remember, we are all one. We are brothers, sisters, and siblings. So yes, rules are important, but finding solutions while on your feet is pretty remarkable. So, Devarius was told he couldn't enter. And then he saw a teacher at a distance. His name is John Butler, who was there not in any capacity other than a parent to watch his student graduate. But he thought that Mr. Butler could help him out. And Mr. Butler went and they said, nope, he's not following the guidelines. He can't enter. And without even taking a pause, Mr. Butler took off his size 11 shoes and gave them to the student. They were 2 sizes too big, by the way. And he now had the proper shoes to walk in the graduation. And as he was crossing the stage to get his diploma, he was having to shuffle his feet because the shoes were too big. But he smiled because that big moment in his life, he didn't miss out on. He didn't miss out or didn't feel judged or pushed down or shamed or blamed or all of these things, all of these words that we take and impress them on our body and into the cells of our being, and then we hang on to them for 100 million years. No, instead was, have the wrong shoes. And here comes an ally. Here comes a brother. By ways of Mr. Butler, here, use my shoes. So the reason why I'm bringing these good news, the reason why I'm sharing this is for us to see how easy it is to become a Mr. Butler. What do you run into daily that you can just think on your feet on how to provide a little compassion or provide a little input? Not pushing your opinion on somebody, but input to help make their lives easier. Yeah? So that's sharing the good news. So hurrah to Devarius Peters for graduation and graduating high school. Congratulations. And to Mr. John Butler out there, thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up. For showing up and something that could have been a big, horrible thing, that your solution was so easy. Hello, beloveds. It's so lovely to be with you. Yes. We talk about God, Spirit, universe. We use all these different terminologies. And I found something very interesting this week, and I want to share it with you. And it is, in science, we call it energy. In religion, we call it spirit. In the streets, we call it vibes. And all I'm saying is, trust it. So no matter what you call it, whether you're in the streets or you're science or we're science and religious based, find a name for it and trust it. So the month of June, we're talking about the soul's calling. the soul's calling. It's not what we get when we reach out, but when we go within. What is our soul saying? What is it communicating with you that you're never going to get outside of that? So what is it? And to nourish it and spend time with it and develop it so you are actually fulfilling and doing the work that you came to do. This journey, or portions of the journey, we can't do it without some pain. If everything was just go with the flow easy and we never had the ups and downs, we wouldn't necessarily be learning. We would be at this flat motion with not having a spiral experience spiritually. And if humanity is to awaken to its spiritual magnificence, and if we are working towards and living in a world that works for all, our discomfort must become our guru. Now, no one likes discomfort, and for the to actually put it up to a guru status is taking this all to another level. However, we have to take it to another level because we are called. So individually and collectively, we must dive deeply into all the areas that we shy away from. Things like politics, privilege, Black Lives Matter, spiritual activism, money. Those are just a few that when we talk about, lots of us shut down. Lots of us go, I don't want to jump in there. However, we're being called in order for us to all consciously achieve that spiritual consciousness, to live in a world that works for all. We need to do our parts. And I was somewhere once and they took a poll and basically people just want to be happy. That's like their goal. Like, I just want to be happy. I want to be able to be happy in my life and not have all the struggles and be happy with what I have. And Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind, believes that the ultimate goal is to have a relationship with Spirit, to have a relationship with God, to have that relationship, that oneness with the only thing that there is. And that the idea is that once that is matured and you continue to nourish it and love it and be with it and be in it and as it and let it flow through in and as us, that we become it. We become that Christ consciousness. We become in that spiraling upward. We become that. And then there are Carl Jung had this to say: there is no coming to consciousness without pain. We can't avoid it. We can't avoid pain. So if we are experiencing something other than wholeness, perfection, if we're experiencing anything other than that and being complete, then there has been something, whether it's a incorrect thought or it's some pain that we were exposed to, a trauma, and that we've allowed our bodies to take on that pain, to take it on so it's in every cell of our body. That once we work our way through that pain and through that trauma, that we can achieve and get back to that natural state of being whole, perfect, and complete. Pain is here as part of our growth. So pain is here, but suffering is optional. We can determine how much we want to suffer. Suffering is an emotion. So this idea of pain, like if we stub our toe, that's pain and it hurts. Suffering is when we add our emotions, this illusion that we have come to take on, that there should be no pain. And when we're in that pain, if we remember and we recognize that the job here is not to suffer, it is to get back to whole, perfect, and complete. It's for us to get back to that natural state of being. So if we don't focus on the suffering and we focus on our wholeness, then we can actually speed up the healing process. Thirdly, when we're going through difficult situations and it's painful and we suffer and we're going through the ups and downs and we just really want to get to this place where we're happy. Happy comes after we get back to that wholeness state. But one of the things that helps with this is to do forgiveness work. To actually forgive yourself. Forgiveness is the open door to a better life. When I meet with clients and am discussing about things from their past and people that have harmed them, and it goes back 25 years and there's this horrible event that took place, I am not suggesting that we discount that it never happened. I'm not suggesting that at all. And if the client doesn't want to reach out and face those things from 25 years ago, you don't have to. But one of the things that I know is that we have a tendency to blame ourselves. And when we blame ourselves, it turns into shame. That those interactions that happened when we were younger, where we feel that we were harmed, our bodies might have been harmed, but there again is this beautiful place. That beautiful place, our soul, our being that has never been harmed. And to be able to go there and remember that and bring ourselves back to that wholeness. So this forgiveness thing. Forgiveness, not forgiving for the act, but forgiving to allow yourself to remove that pressure, to allow yourself to wake up in the morning and not be burdened about what happened 25 years ago and be so full of hate for this person that caused you this trauma or the situation that caused you this trauma. And what I say often is, let's close our eyes. And do you really think that person, that place, that thing that harmed you, do you think right now that they are wrapped up in it as tight as you are? And the answer is no. They're not thinking about it. They're not torturing themselves over it. The torture is happening within ourselves over an event that most of the time we couldn't control. And when we do forgiveness work, it allows this divine wisdom to well up and flow through our beings for answers, wellness, and evolution. That when we can lay it down and forgiveness, forgive our trespassers. when we forgive, it allows an opening to happen where we can start healing ourselves. And really, at the end of the day, again, the ultimate goal is to have a relationship with Spirit. That's my number one goal, to nurture that and love that. And when I'm doing anything other than that, when I'm filling up my space with things such as pain and anger and hate, it doesn't allow for my relationship to be perfect, whole, and complete with Spirit. Those with ears can hear. And as much as you can open up to it, as much as you can open up to Spirit, is as much as you'll be able to receive. So if I'm clouded and bogged down with hate and resentment and just pain, and I'm just stuck in this vicious cycle, when you decide to lay down the swords, lay down the tools that have been keeping you in bondage and torture for whether it's a day or it's been 75 years, lay it down and allow love to flow in. Allow that to be who you are. I am committed. So being committed to living your best life now. So is my commitment, is your commitment stronger than your resistance? And I sort of laughed with the talk title today because resistance, when I think about like doing exercise as an example, exercise, I have my bike and I can ride and I have a trainers that coach me and give me spiritual affirmations, and yet there's a resistance. And I find every single excuse imaginable, even cleaning the house, before I'll get on that bike. There is resistance there. I don't know why there's resistance there, because I don't know if you do this too, but as soon as you get involved in something, you're like, oh, this isn't that bad. This is actually fun. But there is this barrier, this resistance. And that holds true for our spirituality too. You know, big questions come up. Do I want to make this commitment? Do I want to have a life full of learning? Because once we begin this spiritual journey, when we're in it with Spirit, because we're all on a journey, a spiritual journey now, you just might not be, we're not all aware that that's what's happening. But when we're in connection with Spirit, when we're one with the one with Spirit, the world opens up, the universe opens up, the beauty opens up, and we start to experience manifesting most beautiful things in our lives. We think about beauty, we have affirmations about beauty, and then the next thing we know, we're out in beautiful nature, and it's so beautiful. And these waves of just joy and it just gives me chills. But it comes down to what we want to experience. So if there is resistance there, if you do have resistance over the commitment of having a spiritual connection with the one, and when you sit down and you're like, oh, I'll do my meditation later, set the timer. I've now turned into where I set the timer, and when the timer goes off, doesn't matter what I'm doing. If I miss my morning meditation and that timer goes off, I stop what I'm doing and I do a meditation. I stop what I'm doing and I open up a book. What does Spirit need me to know today? And I open it up. And again, there is resistance. I don't know what it is or why we're like that as humans, but there is resistance. Then I read 2 sentences and I'm like, man, thank you, Spirit. This is exactly what I needed to read. This is exactly what I needed in my life today to help me live my best life now. We want to live our best life now. We want to create the heaven that we imagine on earth now and live it now. We know that we're eternal beings, that our soul continues to go long after this bodysuit is done in this world. But if we wait and we procrastinate and we push off and we resist, all of a sudden we're going to find out that we're 98 years old and we never did any of it. Make the time now. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Take a class. Write down an affirmation. Write down what your soul is calling you to do. Even when you write it down, if it seems like it is the most absurd thing in the world, write it down anyway. Because sooner or later, something's going to go off in our head and it's going to make sense. Sometimes it might never make sense. But stay open, stay willing, stay teachable. Have difficult conversations. Have conversations about politics. Have conversations about Black Lives Matter. Have conversations about being privileged. And I know in our county we say that, we don't have an issue with racism. And the reason why we think that we don't have a problem in our county with racism is because we're so full of privilege, we haven't opened up to see what's actually going on. And when I say privileged, it generally makes, there's resistance. There's resistance. But it's not about making me wrong and you right, or you right and me wrong. It's about finding that common place where we can learn about each other, where we can learn and we can understand and maybe not completely, we can never get in somebody else's shoes, but we can get an idea of the pain and the suffering and then be part of as an ally, because we're all brothers, sisters, and siblings, and come to this place where we can start healing some of this trauma. We heal it so we can move our consciousness higher, but when we move it, we're actually creating a world that works for all. And that's what we're here for. We're not here to hate. We're not here to put people down. We're not here to, say, you're not worthy of that. That is not the God, Spirit, the universe, the energy. That energy is nothing but good flowing love. So we get into that wave, we get into that stream, we get into that vibration, and we become that love. We are wisdom. As much as we can open up our minds, we can receive and be that vessel of love. Be that vessel of love. And when I was a kid, my parents used to say, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Or what I've turned it into is, if you are going to say something that is demeaning or harmful to another human being on this planet, whether you know them or not, don't say it. So if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it. If you want to talk about hard conversations and have hard conversations to try to raise and heal the harm, speak up. Speak up. Be the solution and not one poking at it and continuing to just get it to fester. Be the one, be the light, be the vessel that is ready to be a change maker in this world. A change maker that for things that keep our planet clean, cleaning up our planet so my great-great-grandchildren have a planet to live on. Your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren. That we clean up after ourselves. That when we see a situation, we do our best to fix it then and not just leave it for another generation to clean up. Find your soul's calling, your passion. Then find one of these issues and insert yourself in that and start being part of the solution. You're amazing. You're magnificent. We're opening up to our spiritual magnificence. I am, you are, we all are. And I support you in you evolving to your greatness. Leaning into the pain, discover the message. Forgive the untruth. And reclaim your wholeness. You're the only one that can reclaim your wholeness. It is an inside job. And be and have the freedom to live your life as you see fit is a direct result of that. Until next time, love ya. So let's go into prayer. Put your feet on the ground. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath with me. Deep breath in and exhale. Deep breath in and exhale. One last time. Take a deep breath in and exhale. How good it is to be together. How good it is to be together in this thing and living this thing called life. I know that the universe, spirit, the vibe in the street, whatever we call it, is the same thing. There's only one. And then that oneness, I know that there is abundance, that there is beauty, that there is love, and there is wisdom, and so much more, that it is overflowing, that there is enough. There is enough for everyone. And in this oneness, I know that each of us were birthed from it. So we are whole, perfect, and complete within us. We are whole, perfect, and complete beings. So right here and right now, I recognize my oneness with the one. I recognize with that vibration as one. And I recognize that all my brothers, sisters, and siblings that are with me today or not, that we are all one from that one. So that vibration of abundance, that vibration of love, that vibration of wisdom, I just let it flow over me, reign over us right here and right now. That I open my mind, I open my mind, I open my heart, I open my ears to be able to hear and feel and love that one, that spirit that runs through, in, and as me. Yes, as me. I step into my divinity and I say yes. I disregard what no longer serves. I let go of fear. I let go of hate. And I allow myself to forgive others, and most importantly, I forgive myself. I forgive myself for any mistakes. I forgive myself. And I do spiritual practices that allow me to continue to work through where there is less fear and there is more love. That I let go of the hate and I am love. That I am that beacon of light for others. For the mission, the goal, my soul's calling is to live in a world that works for all. And it begins with me. So I reach out and I say yes, 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 yes. I'm asked and I say yes. So I am committed of living my best life right now, not 10 years from now. I am living the heaven that I have created on earth. Thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, Mother, Father, God, for this brilliance, this knowledge that is flowing through me as the truth. And as it flows through me as the truth, I know the same for you as well. That we are born to, our birthright is to live freely. Freedom from bondage, and it begins now. I let it all go and I let it be. I'm so grateful for this teaching. I am so grateful for my years of experience on this thing, doing this thing called life. I am grateful for my successes. I'm grateful for my failures. It's all part of the same thing. As I spiral up, creating higher and higher consciousness, creating that world that works for all. So we give it to the law, and the law says yes, it's already in action. So I do not need to hang on to it. It's already done in the mind of God. I let it go, I let it be, and together we say, and so it is. Amen. Some announcements. I already mentioned the 4 Sundays in the park. We are really excited about this. We are starting off, you know the story, the turtle and the hare. We're moving at a turtle's pace. So on the 4th Sunday, you can catch us in Nancy Bush Park. Bring your chair. Feel free to bring your animals on leashes if you would like. We will have water for them to enjoy. We will be gathering. If you are concerned about social distancing or you want to hug everybody, we have a system that will be in place so visually we can all see what the person that we want to engage with is comfortable with. If you are concerned, please come anyway, try our system, and I would love to see you in person. I can't wait. I am so excited. Next, if you are wondering how to give to the Camarillo Center for Spiritual Living, you can do it in multiple ways. We've tried to come up with every single possible way so you can find the one that's best fits you. First, you can send your checks to our P.O. Box 2360, Camarillo, California 93011. You can try out our text to give program. You text in a number and it asks you how much you would like to give to the Camarillo Center for Spiritual Living. You put that amount in. There is setup stuff to do first time around, but you can do it within 3 to 5 minutes, and then it's easy peasy. All you do is put it in an amount and hit send. If you like PayPal, that is another option. All of those links and information are in the chat below. And lastly, if you would like to sign up for our electronic tithing, please contact our office. We will send you out forms. We will answer any questions that you have, and it'd be great to hear from you. So here at the Camarillo Center for Spiritual Living, I want you to know that we're a radically inclusive community, which means everyone is welcome. Everyone. I also want you to know that you are honored and that you are loved and that you are seen. And I can't wait to see you on June 27th.
been wonderful to be with you today. Let's end with this wonderful benediction. Something wonderful is happening through me, through you, through us. Ah, all the time. Here we go. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. Something wonderful. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. Something wonderful. It's happening through my mind. It's happening through my body. Right here in my heart. And I let it be. Something wonderful. Something wonderful. Something wonderful. Something wonderful is happening.